Yasu Malagizo. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Tom Segura.
So I remember being hyped up. And I was like, I'm just gonna jump and see what happens.
Oh! Jeez! Oh my god. Oh man. Oh, jeez. Oh man. I'm sorry for laughing, but oh my god, I watched this like at least 32 times. Holy shit. Okay, let me just explain what happened. First of all, just let me start off by saying that Tom Segura is a very, very, very funny comedian who did not deserve what just happened to him. Him and Bert Kreischer are, I wouldn't say a comedic duo, but they're very good friends, both comedians, both very funny. They do a lot of these challenges, who could do what better for some reason. I don't know why they're doing this. Clearly, it's not working out. And Tom Segura, he tries to do a slam dunk on a 9-foot basketball rim. And I mean, the best way I could describe it is he just slipped and fell on his back. But at the same time, his arm went behind his back and he landed on his arm as well. And his arm looks like, you ever see that movie with Steven Seagal when he's like breaking all the Jamaicans' arms and it just goes one way and it's not supposed to? And actually, it's kind of ironic that I'm mentioning Steven Seagal with Tom Segura, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And it just looks fucked up, man. Yeah, and this just happened recently, just before Christmas, and they just released the video on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube, just put in Tom Segura slam dunk injury. That's got like an emoji, worried face, and in brackets it says viewer discretion advised. And what's funny is I watched this video yesterday a million times. And before it didn't give a warning, now it does give a warning, and you have to, push consent, whatever. And holy shit, it's brutal, man. I mean, holy shit. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just bad, man. And then you see him afterwards, and like he's all fucked up in the hospital, and like it shows the X-ray of the bone breaking and all the stitches and. Oh man, I've never seen anybody injured this bad on a basketball court. Like I remember there was that one player, he took a shot like from the one side of the arc there, or not the arc, the opposite, the whatever, the bottom there. And he fell back and his leg went a different way and that looked painful. But this looks, on top of like landing on top of the arm, which is even worse. I mean, holy shit, man. First of all, I realized two things watching this video. One, I could easily pass as Tom Segura's brother. And two, I don't think I'm ever going to play basketball again. Yeah, this is, wow. Wow. So between this and watching the beginning season of the Toronto Raptors in 2021, so far I'm not enjoying basketball the last month. Yeah. So I just want to start this podcast by saying that because, I just want to say, Tom, I hope you get better, man, because you are really a funny guy. And yeah, like I said before, he's a really funny stand-up comedian. I basically discovered Tom Segura through Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, we all know who Joe Rogan is. He just got that awesome deal with Spotify for $100 million. Congrats to him. Always enjoy watching his podcast. But the great thing about his podcast is he's introduced me to a lot of just funny people, including Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Joey Diaz, It's like, dog. And just so many funny guys. So and I saw Tom like again, like I mean, the floor must have been wet or something. Maybe the shoes were brand new, very slippery. I don't know, maybe Mario Kart, they threw a banana peel in there. I don't know what the fuck happened. I've never seen anything like that. Like, it's just insane. And they show it in like slow motion, and it's just bad, man. Like, I mean, the guy's like fucked up on the floor, and the one guy's just like, "Are you okay?" And what's even funnier is like the one, like I said, his arm is like one way. It looks all fucked up. And like the guy moves his arm back in place, and he's just still lying. He's like, "You okay?" And then the interview, the one guy there, he's like, "Man, I've never seen anybody fall like that before, ever on a basketball court." Like, I mean, I'm like, dude, neither have I. And Bert's just trying to get him to the ambulance, and he's like, "Oh, don't forget your mask." And yeah, man, wow, that's fucking crazy. I mean. Oh, thank you for the laugh, though. I do appreciate it. I swear to you, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, but that is fucked up. I mean, that is crazy. But anyways, I'd like to talk a little bit about Tom Segura, and just bring some attention to him, because he's a really funny guy. He's got a lot of funny stuff out on Netflix. A lot of, I think, 4 stand-up specials. He's done some TV, he's done some movies, he's done a little bit of everything, some podcasts, he's a good dude, And as a fellow Aryan, a fellow Aries, I like to give him a shout out. So, let's go to the Wikipedia, the good old free encyclopedia, and let's do this. Thomas Segura Jr. is an American stand-up comedian, writer, actor, and podcaster. Segura co-hosts Your Mom's House podcast and the Two Bears, One Cave podcast. Now, like I said before, he does a couple podcasts, as I clearly just said. Your Mom's House podcast, which he does with his awesome wife, Christina Patzitsky. I hope I said that right. And the other podcast he does is Two Bears, One Cave, with his buddy, and I'm almost certain he's the poster boy for Manchild, Bert Kreischer, who's also a very funny guy. Segura was born on April 16th, 1979, to Charo, Peruvian mother, and Thomas Segura Sr., an American father of Spanish, Cajun, and French Canadian ancestry. No, he's part Canadian. Okay, all right. That again, see, some of the best stand-ups come from. Sorry, I just heard an alarm there. Okay, you never know what's gonna happen, guys. French Canadian. I think it's the French Canadian alarm. And yeah, so the funniest people come from Canada for sure. I mean, it's awesome. He has 2 sisters. When he was 18, Segura overdosed on GHB and fell into a short coma. Holy fuck. Wow, this guy has no luck, eh? Holy shit. Yeah, wow. GHB obviously is a drug. It's not like weed at all. It actually stands for gamma hydroxybutyric acid. Oh, that sounds lovely. Also known as 4-hydroxybutanoic acid, is a naturally occurring neurotransmitter and a psychoactive drug. It is a precursor to GABA, glutamate, and glycine in certain brain areas. It acts on the GHB receptor and is a weak agonist at the GABA, capital B at the bottom there, I don't know what that means, receptor. Okay, so like, in other words, it'll fuck you up. Yeah, so, wow. Okay, he's living the life for sure. Says here, Segura began stand-up comedy shortly after graduating from Lenore Ryan, whatever, University on Wednesday, September 9th, 2020, episode 568 of Your Mom's House podcast with guest Kevin Nealon. Was also a funny motherfucker. I think Weeds is coming back, so that's something to look forward to. Tom mentions he was doing comedy in the evenings for the first few years while holding down other daytime jobs. At 1 hour and 55 minutes into the iTunes version, Tom describes interning at Copel Sun Entertainment and then having his first paid job in the industry as a logger, producing transcripts of reality shows such as Extreme Makeover and My Big Fat Obnoxious Boss. Segura has performed at a Melbourne International Comedy Festival, the Comedy Festival, the Global Comedy Festival in Vancouver, and Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Segura was also a San Francisco regional finalist on Last Comic Standing 2. In 2018, Tom and his wife, Christina Patsitsky, landed a TV deal with CBS, who gave a pilot production commitment for their show The Little Things. Tom's fourth special for Netflix, Ball Hog, premiered on March 24th, 2020, and a Spanish language special was planned for the fall of 2020. Before the impact of COVID-19 pandemic was experienced. So there you go. The guy's done a lot. He's worked his ass off for quite some time, and that's what you got to do to become a stand-up comedian. I mean, you got to do a lot of jobs at first, get your name out there. Of course, it's hard during these times to do that, but still, worst case scenario, they're just still doing the podcast. So they always got that to fall back on. And it also says here in 2011, Segura and his wife, Christina, created their podcast, Your Mom's House, which they both host. So like I said, they always got that to do together. And it's cool. I mean, they're a really cool couple. You can tell they've been together for a while, and, they basically know each other really well. They can rip on each other. And, because of Tom's injury right now, she's definitely picking up the slack, which is what a good wife does. That's what a good husband would do for his wife if she was injured. So that's awesome to see that. And of course, Bert is helping him out as well, because Bert's his main buddy, and it's just cool to see that. So I like that. Segura is from Cincinnati, Ohio, and he has lived across the U.S. in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Milwaukee, basically anything beginning with M, Wisconsin, and Vero Beach, Florida. He graduated from Lenoir, I don't know. University in Hickory, North Carolina. Remember hickory sticks? I don't know, whatever happened to those. He lives in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood of Los Angeles, California, with his wife, Christina, and their 2 children. On August 21st, the LA Times reported NFL linebacker Cassius Marsh purchased Tom and Christina's old Woodland Hills home. Tom and Christina met when he was 23 and she was 26. I like older women too, man. Don't get me wrong. At the Cat Club on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. Older women are always better. There's way less bullshit. Yeah, I said it. Deal with it. The point is, you see these two work together. Like, I've seen multiple episodes of Your Mom's House. It's always cool. I mean, they always interview cool people. They did one funny episode with Tommy Lee there, and they're just shooting the shit, dick joke here, dick joke there. When Joey Diaz shows up, always telling his great stories, He ended the podcast great, by the way. The last 10 minutes, fantastic. And it's just cool, man. I mean, it's just very chill, very relaxed. They even involve the people in the back there, who are running the cameras and whatever, sound effects and all that shit. And, it's cool. It's almost like treated like a little family, And that's the whole point of doing a podcast, is that you just have fun with it. I mean, there shouldn't be a big plan, I mean, most of the times you see a podcast, they just talk about what's going on in the day. And they just shoot the shit, and then they interview somebody for a bit, and I don't know. They always go on the fuck's it called, TikTok or I don't know YouTube, and just check out people doing weird things. And I mean, there's a lot of weird perverts out there, man. I mean, it's the States, so whatever. But yeah, and they just make fun of that, and that's it, man. I mean, there's not very simple, very chill. I love it. I love it. I always say the simplest thing will always make you laugh, And they got a good rapport. And like him and Bert Kreischer, when they do the whole Two Bears, One Cave thing, that's awesome too. I've always liked that, They seem to have a really good friendship, It's the yin to the yang, as you could say. Bert, like I said, if you look up in the dictionary man-child, I guarantee you will find his face. That guy, I think he's almost 50, and he's just living his best life. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, really, he's probably going to outlive all of us. He's going to live to be like, I don't know, like he's going to be like Jackie Gleason or something, and just, go nuts. And, it's funny. Like, one funny part I saw was, he brought in this like big jug, and like you just assume it's like water in there, and like like Tom just asked him like, what are you drinking? He goes, Kool-Aid. He's like, that whole thing is Kool-Aid? He's like, yeah. What what flavor is it? He says red. He doesn't even say like cherry or strawberry. He just says red. And then like Tom doesn't believe it. I mean like everything he's had to deal with Bert at this point, like he just doesn't believe him still. So like he just takes the jug, he pours a little bit in the paper cup, and it comes out like, fucking looking like blood. And he's like, holy shit, that is Kool-Aid. And they're both just fucking laughing like their ass off, like, oh my god, you're drinking like all this Kool-Aid. And they're just like crying, turning beet red. And oh man, it's fucking hilarious. Like, but like, I mean, he's like a big kid. He just drinks like, I like Kool-Aid too, man. But I mean, you gotta, I mean, like at 50, you gotta watch that shit. I mean, oh fuck. But you could tell they just have a really good, rapport back and forth. And I don't know, Bert's just always talking about the weird shit he does, and Tom's just like, yeah, okay, he's trying to like make sense of it and whatever. And he's just a very funny guy. And I mean they're both really funny, so I mean they really just play well off each other. It's almost like an odd couple thing. Yeah, so it's funny, man. I mean, like, he's a really funny guy. So again, to see that injury, for him to like go out like that, I mean, he's not dead, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, it sucks he has to go through that. But I like, again, the floor must have, like, I mean, there must have been like, I mean, was there like an ice rink before they went in there? Like, I've never seen anybody slip like that. Like, I went curling once, and only once, because it sucks. I mean, like, you think it's boring to watch it on TV. Holy shit. And I slipped and fell. I slipped twice on my back, and the second time I went on my back and hit my head, and I woke. I was lucky I woke up. But I got up, and I was like, holy fuck, like, this is crazy. I'm all dizzy and shit. Nobody came to see if I was okay. Like, someone just yelled, you okay? I'm like, and I don't know. I think my grades went down ever since. But yeah, like, it fucking sucks, man. And I never went curling again. I mean, I watched like Men with Brooms a few months ago, and I don't know. I didn't really miss anything. And the point is, it sucks landing right on your back. Like, it is not cool. Like, so I can imagine what he felt like, and even just, going through all that shit now, man. So my heart goes out to him. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, he's done a couple TV and movie specials here, and thanks to IMDb here, I can go over a couple with you guys. Like I said, I never heard of him until the whole Joe Rogan thing. Joey Diaz had him a couple times on his podcast too. I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of these dudes. I just get discovered by Joe Rogan. So and even Joey Diaz once said, he's like the Rodney Dangerfield of comedy, because he just introduces like all these people. For those of you who don't know who Rodney Dangerfield is, shame on you. But if you watch a couple of his specials, he introduced a lot of people like Tim Allen, Roseanne, Sam Kinison, Andrew Dice Clay, like all these people he just brought to the forefront. And same thing with Joe Rogan. I mean, I wouldn't know a lot of these dudes if it wasn't for him. I mean, Bert Kreischer was on the Discovery Channel for 10 years. I don't know. I mean, who the fuck watches Discovery? But anyways, so yeah, the first job that he ever did was in 2004. It was a super precinct short. He played the evidence room cop, which I assume is like one of the best jobs to have if you're a cop, because you just get to sample all the weed and shit. Atom TV, he did Atom TV. Coming at them, Atom, Simpsons. Up and at them, Atom Bomb, like an atom, whatever. He was on a couple episodes. Gary Unmarried. He didn't play Gary. He played employee bear suit guy. I gotta watch that. Frank Advice. That was a short. Happy Endings. One day. 9 Inches. That'll happen. Workaholics. The show was okay. I mean, it's the one with the 3 guys, right? Let me see here. Yeah. It was okay. I mean, I watched a few episodes here and there. It was okay. I don't know. What else we got here? Hannibal Buress, Handsome Rambler, the Tom Segura episode. Makes sense. Instant Family. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg, right? Yeah. That was okay. I couldn't really get into it. I like Mark Wahlberg, and I'm gonna do a podcast about him one day. I've always just said this about Mark Wahlberg. It's either one or two things with his films. They're either good or they're bad. This one, I don't know. I couldn't really get into, so I don't know. It's more of a family thing, so whatever. Countdown. Final Countdown. Never heard of this movie. Death. There is an app for that. All right. Well, didn't get the best rating, but I don't know. What are you going to do? The Cabin with Bert Kreischer. Okay, so I think so far is the best thing he's done. Bert Kreischer had a show. I'll do a podcast about him one day. I don't know. He's a funny dude. I always liked him. And he just goes to a cabin. He's supposed to find himself or whatever, but instead he just invites all his comedian friends, and he gets a lot of funny people there. First episode, he had Tom Segura and Joey Diaz. Of course he had the 2 guys. They had a Cuban guy rolling old school cigars there, and of course they put weed in it. Then they're just shooting their shit around the fire, and that's it. It's just them chilling out and having fun. That's it. So it's on Netflix. When you got a chance, check out that whole series. It's awesome. Opening act, he played a cop. I never heard of this movie. It's got Cedric the Entertainer and Jimmy O. Yang, the guy that was in Silicon Valley. He'd always get into fights with T.J. Miller. Yeah, I don't know. T.J. Miller, for a while, he kind of fucked up his career there. It's a whole long story there. Funny guy, but, I mean, he shouldn't have done what he did. I'll get into that another time. Flinch, he played Ed. It's post-production. And The Little Things. So The Little Things focuses on the funny coping mechanisms that get you through the harder parenting dilemmas. He's doing it with him and his wife. Okay. There you go. Cool. That should be all right. And I don't know. Whenever they team up, it seems pretty good. So there you go. But let's just be honest. If you know Tom Segura, you know Tom Segura for his comedy specials. Now, like I said before, he's come out with 4 of them so far. All of them have been pretty funny. If you enjoy his comedy, which all of you should, like I said, he's an Aries. Okay, let me tell you something about us Aries. Okay, we're honest people. We're good-looking people. We're pretty awesome. And a lot of times, we do think we're always right, and we have this kind of, what's it called, assholeness to us, But it's all in good fun. We're just trying to tell you what's really going on in life. Okay, so we don't mean it in a mean way. We're just 99.9% honest. Okay, we're like Lemon Pledge without the lemon. So I like to talk about his stand-up specials, if you don't mind. Now, I was mistaken. He's actually done 6, but 4 of them are on Netflix. 2 of them are just hour-long stand-up album specials. The first one came out in 2010 called Thrilled, which is a funny album cover, obviously making fun of the whole Thriller thing with Michael Jackson there. And White Girls with Cornrows. I grew up in East York. I see that all the time. These ones, basically these 2 specials, a lot of it he put into the 2014 completely normal stand-up special. And that's what happens with a lot of comedians. I mean, they do this for years, whatever, and then their first official stand-up special, all their stuff goes in their first official, recorded stand-up special. Now, like I said before, the first one is called Completely Normal, which I believe is an ironic title because there's no comedians out there that are normal. I always say this: if you ever go see a stand-up show, the best thing to do is after you see them perform stand-up, watch a group of comedians talk to themselves in a group, even if they're outside having a smoke. Just shut up and listen. Trust me, there's nothing normal about these people. So my favorite joke from this stand-up special is at one point he says something like, have you ever been to a bar and someone just comes up to you and they're like, hey, da da da, and then you just want to go to them? No. And he just puts his hand out, and I knew right there he's an Aries, because first of all, I work security. I can't tell you how many times people just come up to me and I don't know, they think they're your friend, and you just want to tell them to fuck off. And it's the same thing in real life. Like we have a very short attention span for stupidityness when it comes to being an Aries. And we really just want to tell someone, look, just shut up. And there's times where you throw subtle hints because you don't want to be rude, but it gets to a point where it's like, dude, shut up. I don't care. Leave me alone. So that alone, simple shit like that is really funny to me. Like Tom says, I'm not a terrible person. I'm just an honest person. I also like the whole routine about him talking about people's fetishes, and I mean, who doesn't like eyelashes on their asshole? And at the end of the special, he tells a great story about finding a wallet. And I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, the kid is a real jerk off. So overall, it's a great special. He's a funny guy. He's off to a great start. Then the next special he does is called Mostly Stories. And this was done in 2016. Now, I like stories, so I was looking forward to listening to this. Now, it starts off with a very funny intro. Pancake titties. Anyways, it takes place, the special, in Seattle, which I'm told is the funniest place in America. And of course, he starts talking about the city and its many rain attributes. He also does a funny thing about talking about customer service. And yeah, that is true. I mean, if customer service does suck, you're like, oh yeah, well, what can you do? And also, never take the red eye. And always pay attention to our taint, also known as the devil's driveway. That's funny. That's definitely one of my favorites from this special. But the way he closes it is excellent with the whole Mike Tyson story. I don't want to even give anything away. You just got to listen for yourself. So again, he created an excellent comedy special. Now, the next one he came out with was in 2018, called Disgraceful. So at this point, he's got nothing to lose. He's already made 2 great specials. Might as well make it a trifecta. Now, I should mention at this point, around this time, just before this time, whatever, he lost a good 50 pounds. So congrats to that man. I've lost weight over the years. The hardest thing is just to keep it off. So it seems like he's pretty much kept it off. A lot of people are giving him shit now that he has the injury that, oh, you're going to gain all the weight back. Like, shut the fuck up, honestly. I mean, he even said, like, people online were giving him shit about it, and that's why he lost the weight. I found one funny thing. He said, one guy hit me up 50 times. Please give me a message to get my weight loss kickstarted. I'll give you a message. When you look in the mirror, do you say, I fucking hate you? No? Then you're not ready. Cry more and eat less. Send. That's my message. Wow. I just want to put this out there. Lose weight because you want to lose weight and be healthy. That's all. Who gives a shit about what people say out there? I'm always trying to lose weight, even to this day. So if I lose any more weight, I will not look like Tom Segura, so that'll piss me off a bit. But it's just, he even said, they were talking about it on a podcast, some people are just born to be a little fat. It is what it is. They even said when he almost OD'd there in college, the doctor told him because you were fat, that actually saved you. So, yeah, for all those people out there that say fat is bad, top that. Maybe it acted like a force field or something. You know what I mean? The fat protects you from, other poisonous shit, like clean air. I don't know. But, good for him, man. He lost the weight. And he's able to keep it off, so that's cool. Sugar is the fat man's cocaine. Now, in this special, he talks about a couple racial slurs, including one for Italians, which, again, if Tom Segura says it, I don't mind. Trying to conceal weed or just weed in general. Now, it really doesn't fucking matter, especially if you're from Canada. Parking in public parking spaces, which is always a pain in the ass. Speaking of pains in the ass, he talks about actually getting a finger in your ass. I had to do that when I was 28. Never again. Let me explain. I saw this whole special one day on, getting your prostate checked when you're 40. I figured, fuck it, I'll do it when I'm 28 and get it out of the way. And that's it. That's probably one of my favorite parts in the special. And also the story about him trying to get into the Nike factory. So between Nike shoes and, fingers in the ass, I learned a lot in the special. So Tom, thank you very much. Again, another special. But he's got one more up his sleeve. And this one's pretty good too. Released in 2020. A little thing called Ball Hog. Now right off the bat, he talks about being a pet owner, and a lot of people are just too fucking nuts about being pet owners. I completely agree. Check out my cat and dog podcast. You will see which one I favor more. He also talks about the infamous G word, gypsies, which I don't know, we consider that the G word now, but all right. He also talks about arguing with his mom, which holy fuck can I relate to. And of course, basing your life on horoscopes. Which I don't mind horoscopes, but yeah, you can't read your shit and go, okay, I'm not going to go outside today because I might die. So let's just, that's bullshit. And one of my favorite positions of all time, 69, he breaks that down in the last segment. And it's it's pretty funny. So overall, he's got 4 specials, and they're all awesome. Okay, you got nothing else to do during COVID. Just sit back, make it a Netflix and chill night, and just enjoy Segura making you laugh. I know I did. And if you also want to laugh more, go on YouTube, check out when he does his impersonation of, I guess it's a rapper, DJ Dad Mouth. Basically, he would say that he would go on these morning shows, and they're bullshit. I mean, you gotta understand something. Like, comedians, they stay up late all night. So the last thing they want to fucking do is get 2 hours sleep, if that, and then go to a morning show and be around people that are happy. So, instead, Tom Segura, he just dressed up in like kind of a fur coat there, the scarf, whatever. He had the old school rope chain, put on the shades, put a little bit of the rap vernacular on, and just fuck with him. That's it. I mean, who cares? You're out there promoting your shit. These guys don't give a shit about you. In the end, you just, promote it and be funny and fuck them. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about with Tom Segura is I talked about him and Steven Seagal there. We both love Steven Seagal. I mean, I did until like the mid '90s, whatever. But yeah, he did a very funny thing on YouTube. It's called Tom Segura Dance Video to Missy Elliott's Throw It Back. So before Bert Kreischer, his buddy there, he did this song, the Post Malone song, whatever. Him in a black thong, just going nuts, doing the classic fat man dance. We just call it a fat man dance. I mean, whenever it's a fat guy dancing, they can do whatever they want, and we just call it a fat guy dance. That's what we do. So then it shows us some girls there watching the video there. They're disgusted by it. And, the one girl's like, hey, Tom. And then it shows Tom Segura dressed up as Steven Seagal. He's even eating the fucking carrot. Classic. Does a whole dance, whatever, in the warehouse. Then at the end, he has Bert Kreischer. He has his face molded or CGI-ish, whatever, to this big other fat guy, ends up stabbing the guy. It goes really dark at the end there, but basically you cannot hate someone that much and not love them that much at the same time. So it's just friendly competition with these guys to see who can make the better music video. I am still a Steven Seagal fan for some reason, so I'm going to have to go with this video for sure. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. I just wanted to give you a little brief thing about Tom Segura. I mean, I think he's a really funny guy, and again, I feel very bad about him going through this shit, him falling and everything. And like I said, I feel very bad. Let's just listen to it one more time.
So I remember being hyped up, and I was like, I'm just gonna jump and see what happens.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I'm sorry, man. I mean, that's. I mean, the first time I saw it, I didn't laugh as much, but I mean, it was, it was painful, man. Oh my God, jeez. Here I go. It just, I don't know what the fuck, man. It's like that. It's like watching the Three Stooges, just trip on the street and shit. I don't know, but it's, yeah. Yeah. And what's even funnier is like the next clip is there's some doctor that breaks down the injury, and I don't know, because doctors don't make enough money. And yeah, he's just like, showing like what part he broke, and he slows it down, and you can hear the exact pop sound and this sound. Oh my God, it's fucking. This is classic. But again, you know what? I'm sure he's gonna get a full recovery. It'll just take some time, and you know what? Who knows? In the next year, probably he'll come out with another, comedy special. He'll talk about this, and everything will be all good. So I just want to say. Sorry, I'm just watching it in slow mode. It's just it makes it that much more funnier, too. And I don't know. It's the classic like every time like a chubbier guy falls, for some reason like we think we have enough shirt coverage, like worst case if we fall, but then somehow like we fall and then like we're injured and our gut is still showing. It's just I don't know. Fat guys can never win when we fall. But anyways, Tom, I hope you get a full recovery. You have an awesome wife. I think you just had a kid. Congrats on having a kid. I I think he's got 1 or 2 kids. I forgot. But yeah, you got a good thing going there, man. You got good friends around you. You got a hell of a fan base. I'm sorry this was only about 40 minutes. It wasn't as long as the Steven Seagal one. It was about almost an hour shorter. Believe me, I didn't think I was going to talk an hour and 40 minutes about Steven Seagal either. He just I guess he's just more interesting than you. I'm sorry. I'm just joking, Tom. You've definitely done way better movies. Get better, man. We love you. We miss you. Looking forward to the next special. And just get some rest, man. Never play basketball again. Never, ever play basketball again. And we wish you all the best. And hope you get well and be well. AKA Mr. Ladybug, also known as Tom Segura.